When we first released, one of the biggest criticisms we got was kind of the lackluster narrative, to put it mildly. There was a lot harsher criticism than that. Gold Cup was kind of our first chance to really bring the narrative to the forefront and do something cool with it, But we were kind of dead in the water because we, the release went how it went, and we only had so much, budget for bringing the big Hollywood actors back on to record new mission stuff. We already had the roadmap, and Gold Cup was on it. So Danny Trejo was locked in. We were gonna bring him back. Michael Madsen, he's the boss, so he had to come back. And then from there, it was kind of like very intricately deciding how much time we can get with them and where can we properly utilize them and stuff like that. So we wanted to do something big with Sheriff too. He was gonna have a much bigger part in the narrative of Gold Cup, but with the time and the amount of resources that we had to dramatically change the scope of what we were able to do in that short amount of time, because we only had one guy that made all the cutscenes for that, and he did a good job, but like, dang, he was working hard. Keeping the story uniform and having it make sense is a surprisingly difficult thing to do when you have 3 missions and only a handful of cutscenes to tell an entire story, and lots of it is in the mission. But once we got it all fleshed out, then we reached out to Mr. Madsen and Mr. Trejo, and we got them back in to record, and I was sitting in both those sessions, and Danny Trejo is just the man. He's the coolest guy ever. Super nice. Him and Madsen both had a really good time recording with us. When we were recording Madsen, what happened was I was trying to give him a line read, which you're never supposed to do with an actor, but it was like we were recording on his time, well, because he's in the Pacific and we're in, Central Europe, so it was like 3 a.m. here by the time we were kind of in the midway of recording, and I was so tired, and I was like, try reading it like this, and I tried saying it to him, and my voice cracked really bad, like I was mid-puberty, but he got a huge chuckle out of it, and he thought it was funny, and he was super cool about it, but it was one of the most embarrassing moments for me, for sure, but it still worked out well. And then he read it perfectly. He read it exactly how I wanted it to, so it was kind of pointless for me to put myself out there like that. And then also, we were recording with this other woman who used to be a part of IGS, and Mr. Madsen goes like, is that all right with you, honey? Like, are you okay, sweetie? I don't want to make you uncomfortable. And the lady goes, oh, Jack doesn't mind at all. And then he goes, oh, wow, you're witty, you're fast. Yeah, that's good, I like that. He just kept on telling us stories and talking about the movies he worked on, and he was a super fun guy, really chill. And he was a powerhouse too. He just kept on going. He like took 1 sip of water the entire thing. He's like, do you mind if I take a water break? And it's like, we've been recording for 3 hours, man. You can go for it anytime you like. The first time we were scouting him to play the role of Travis Baker, they get on the Zoom call, and he goes, do you guys want to see a big knife? And then he goes and gets this comically large, huge bayonet-looking thing, and then talks about that for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And that's usually how the recording sessions went with Mr. Madsen. But yeah, very, very funny guy, very talented guy. But I guess it wasn't just the narrative that we had this huge scope for. It was everything else too, and lots of it actually made it in. So some things had to get cut down, and then some things got built up, like the sentry gun on top of the Gold Depot and the Apache coming in. Like, that's all. We made the new Butcher character for that update and DLC. It's crazy how when you're working on these big DLCs, things kind of just snowball because everybody gets excited. They want to see all their ideas come into the game. A lot of them did, and that was due to a lot of working hours and people probably sweating and panicking and freaking out and getting mad. But it got in the game and it worked out well so that players, would obviously enjoy it, which I think we managed to do.
Believe me, estás muerto, cabrón.